Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, Anu.
Hey, namaste,
Namaste, Techies.
Harjit. Namaste, Techies.
See, right here. Namaste.
Yay.
All right. So, how are things? Good?
Yeah, going on. Some
What's up?
emergency issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is why we couldn't release the episode of last weekend, right? So
Yeah. I
yeah,
think people will understand.
yeah,
We're still pretty good with our timing, so that's good.
yeah.
So one thing that I noticed that our schedule changed by 1 hour because of the daylight saving times that we changed in the
Yeah,
US.
exactly.
So I was like, oh wait, is this right? So, anyways, that's good.
Yeah.
So so we got some good stuff to talk about again today. You wanted to cover um, group policies,
Yes,
particularly with Intune.
today is a bit different. We are going to talk about Intune, right? Probably for the first time in this show.
Yes.
So what is Intune, first of all, right?
Good question. Yeah.
Yeah. Intune is everything nowadays. It is device management, right? You can do all type of device management from Intune. Right? It is a SaaS solution provided by Microsoft.
Right.
And yeah.
So you can so for the general people, basically Intune is config manager in the cloud, kind of,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but more, right?
Yeah.
Um, you can do policies, you can manage applications, you can it ties into all sorts of Microsoft 365 services and so on and so forth, right?
Yep. So let me try to share my screen and show some fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
Uh, okay, let me arrange my screen first. Give me a sec. This is not the connectivity issue. Just for the clarity.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you can see my screen now.
Yes,
Right.
there we go.
Okay, so this is my Windows 10 device, and basically, if I go to settings somewhere here, I you can see here it is connected to Intune from this point, right? Connected to MEMCM AD domain, and if
Right.
I go into info, you can see Intune policies are coming down in this particular device. So we can manually add this using this connect button, right? And go through the wizard, this particular wizard, right? And you can manually enroll a Windows 10 device into Intune using that method. And I think I have explained that in the blog post here, right? So if you want to have a look, we can attach this into the description of the video, right? So
Yes.
today's topic is not that, right? Today's topic is how to enroll into Intune using a group policy. Okay, so I'm not going to cover the prerequisites, but there are some prerequisites like the device should be hybrid Azure AD join, right? What
Mhm.
is hybrid Azure AD join? First thing is, what is hybrid Azure AD join, and what is the difference between Azure AD join and hybrid Azure AD join, right?
Yes.
So let's understand that first, right? So hybrid Azure AD join is basically, I have a blog post about Intune enrollment using group policy. Over there I have mentioned hybrid Azure AD join is domain join plus Azure AD registered, right? If
Yes.
your device is domain joined, on-prem domain joined, and then if that device is Azure AD registered as well, then that is called hybrid Azure AD join, right? So You can
And you need
see
to
the
configure this in Azure AD Connect, correct?
exactly.
Yeah.
And if you are using ADFS, then it is going to be a bit more complex, right? So yeah, um, so that is the thing. And the important point is you can see the device record in Azure AD as well as in on-prem domain, right? Active Directory as well, right? So let's see how to configure this. First of all, you need to download the ADMX file, right? So you need to download Windows 10 ADMX, Windows 10, the latest version ADMX. You can download it from here, and you need to install that in your domain controller, right? Active Directory. So this is the link where this is the link where this will help you to understand how to do that, right? So probably we can link this also into the description of the video,
Yeah.
and all the details are here. I'm not going to go through all these things, but I'm just going to show you how to do that. So ADMX is installed, Windows 10 ADMX is installed on my domain controller, and I'm going to open group policy management tool from Windows uh, administrative tools over here.
Yeah.
And if I go down, group policy management, this is the mmc console which you need to open. I have already opened that up, all right? And you can see the domain, my domain is here, and
Right.
under domain you can see group policy objects. Right now you can create a new group policy object for this um, particular group policy, or Intune group policy, Intune enrollment group policy. Let's say Intune, right? Intune GPO. Let's say like that, right?
Right.
And click on OK. And now we have a new group policy object. And now what we need to do is you need to edit it, right? And if I can quickly go to policies over here, and administrative templates, right? Because we have installed administrative templates
Right.
for Windows 10, and that is why we need to go over here, administrative templates node. And if I go to Windows components, you can see something similar to Intune. No, Intune is not there, but MDM is there, right?
Right.
So, so MDM is the node which you need to look into, and in MDM you can see something like enable automatic MDM enrollment using default Azure AD credentials. If you double click on that, by default it is not configured, obviously, right? And you can see there is an enable option and a disable option, right? So you can see the details, all the details, what it will do when you enable it.
Mhm.
It will check you have a proper license, MDM license or Intune license or not, and then it will check whether the device is hybrid Azure AD join or not, right? All those things it will check. And then if every prerequisite is there, right, then it will allow the device to enroll into Intune. Now there is one interesting option over here. Select uh, credential type to use, right? There are two types of credentials which you can use: user credentials and device credentials. So there is a very detailed blog about this Microsoft in Microsoft documentation, right? There's a detailed explanation why we need to use device credentials. Device credentials has some issues with configuration manager or SCCM co-managed devices as per the Microsoft docs, but I have tried with device credentials and co-management with Microsoft Configuration Manager, right? That is SCCM, and it works fine. Maybe that node was for the previous versions of a configuration manager, not the
Yeah.
latest version, because I'm using 2010 version of configuration manager, right? So I normally recommend to go with device credentials. and then click on OK. If you have a specific scenario where you want to go with user credentials, then that is also fine. That
Right.
also works. All right. But for WVD, Windows Virtual Desktop Solution, I normally use device credentials as well. Right. Okay. Next, click OK, and we have enabled that. Now, what we need to do, we need to assign this particular new group policy to a OU or something, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you see, I can see new two OUs here, right? But I don't see any other kind of computer account domains or something. Like domain controllers are there, but computer uh, uh, if I launch DSA, you can see computers, right? But the
Yeah.
computers are not there, right? So the only thing is, if you create a new OU here, right? And if you say like, okay, this is the new OU I want to create and apply this group policy to that particular OU, not all the OUs, right? So what I will say, like Intune, or you can put any your opco name or department name or something like that, if you are segregating computers within a opco or department in a particular OU, right? So I will say HR, right? Probably HR, and I will say like, okay, so now let's go back to group policy management over here, and let's try to refresh it. Right now it should show up. It is not showing about what HR.
Yeah, it's
Can you
there.
see? I
It's there
can't see.
under Intune.
Enter Intune.
Expand your Intune.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, okay. Superb. So, as I got confused. I thought I created in the root, right? Not under Intune. I didn't realize that. So yeah, that's a good catch.
That's
Thank you.
okay for yeah, for lab purposes. It's fine.
Yeah. So now what you can do is, if you want to have all your HR devices in this particular OU to be enrolled into Intune using this group policy, then you can right click on this and click on link existing group policy, and you can select the Intune GPO, right? And you can say, okay, I want this. And now the group policy is assigned to that particular OU, and your devices will get that group policy whenever the policy get updated, right?
Right.
So that's the simplest way of putting the group policy or Intune enrollment. Now let's go back to our Windows 10 device and see how we can confirm this, how we can check this, right? So if I go over here, for one way to check this is whether this is working or not, is if you click on this, if you go to settings, accounts, then you can see access work or school, right? And
Yeah.
if you click on that tab, you would be able to see this connection. This is basically AD domain join, right? And if you see info tab over there, that means that's a good news, right? You have some Intune policies coming to your device. That is why you can see info tab over there. And if you click on info tab, you would be able to see what are the policies and application coming down from Intune in this particular device. Okay, so also if you go down, you can see like okay, connection info, server details, and if you want, you can sync and you can create a report, etc., etc. And the other thing is basically you can see check the RSOP, right? You can check the you can run the RSOP from this particular Windows 10 device and check which are the group policies applied to this particular device. And you can see over here, I have already opened up for this device, if you open up this, and you can see administrative templates. If you expand administrative templates and come to Windows Components MDM, right, you can see group policy over here. This is already enabled and applied on this mission, right? So I think that was the quick demo about the Intune group policy management, or basically how to enroll devices using group policy to Intune, right?
Yeah, that is a pretty good use case there, because people are now starting to leverage Intune, modern management, MemCM, right? We talked about earlier about tenant attach and co-management and those things. So this is one way of getting those devices there, right?
Yeah. If you already have domain joined devices, and you want to move to cloud, or you want to enable a lot of features from the cloud, then this is the best way to do it, right? If you are already a hybrid Azure AD join scenario.
Right. If you're a hybrid Azure AD, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, but also that the discussions out there about what if you uh, have devices that join directly to uh, Azure AD, but not your on-prem, and then how do you get config manager client installed, right? So then you have to create that in Intune to do that,
Yeah.
so you can do the whole co-management piece.
Yeah, that reminded me about one of the thing which I forgot to mention actually. There's something called auto enrollment in Azure AD, right? If you go to Azure AD and MDM stuff, all right, there is an auto enrollment of Intune over there. So this is also a prerequisite for a group policy, Intune group policy enrollment, right? So
Right,
that
right.
is also a requirement. And for hybrid, for pure Azure AD joined devices, right, this particular configuration will take care of auto enrollment, right?
Yes, yes. Yep. There's so many ways of doing it, right?
Yeah.
Of- well, not to say so many ways, but yeah. Uh,
It is very flexible. Sometimes it is a bit confusing,
it
which
is
is the best
confusing, right?
way.
Like, am
Yeah,
I
yeah,
supposed to start with config manager first? Is there where I do my devices, and then how do I get them to Intune? Oh wait, what do you mean I have to tenant attach? What do you mean I have to do this? Oh wait,
yeah,
what is this group policy thing? Do I have to do group policy too? I mean, these are all different options, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, but the group
The best
policy
choice.
method is pretty straightforward. It's like one of the probably a mechanism to like set it and forget it kind of a thing, because you can have devices that are people are imaging and stuff like that, and there's just joining to your on-prem AD, and you
Yeah,
don't really have to think about it, because in one way they're going to get into your config manager because of the how you deploy your config manager client, but at the same point in time it'll also get registered and in Intune with this group policy. So
yeah, yeah.
right.
That's pretty useful, at least from my experience, right? It is very useful in WVD scenarios, right? I
Right.
use it for WVD scenarios, right? Because at the moment WVD only supports hybrid Azure AD joined devices,
Okay.
and this is the only way to enroll those devices into Intune. So
I see.
that is why I use it, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, this is good. Great demo. And
Yeah.
but what you showed today, I know you focused on this Intune policy, but if you but that's a good recap or demonstration on how to do group policies in general, right?
Mm.
How to create a group policy, how to apply it, how to enable it, and then applying it to like specific OUs in your in your Active Directory, right?
Yeah.
So I use this all the time. I mean, like sometimes I have to like granular control, like within the different OUs. Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, this sub OU, I have to have this particular thing or whatever. And um, I deal with classroom computers a lot, so
Mhm.
I have to be careful in terms of changes and things like that. That
Yeah.
the text asked me to change, and because if I make a change, it's going to affect all the classrooms.
Yeah.
So I have to like pull a couple of those machines into a sub OU and then create a test group policy, right, to see
Yeah.
is it working, is it not, and then it's baby steps. You
That's
have to do that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of using group policy. There
Yeah,
are a lot of granularity over there, right? So yeah, that's
right,
good.
right. So yeah, this is great. All right. So until next time, you know where to
Yeah.
find us. We're on social media everywhere. How to
Yes.
manage Anoop and Ajit.
That's a good one. And don't forget to share, subscribe, and like. Right?
Yes, yes. Spread it. All right. Namaste.
Namaste.